Happy Tuesday. We are so excited to be here with you. I'm Patty.
Hi, I'm Kari.
And we are StudioR12 Stencils, and we have so much stuff to share today.
We do.
It's so cool, guys. This is something that every single one of you has in your house. If you don't, maybe we'll send a set to you. But no, this is something that is ubiquitous to life.
Yeah.
Life in America, anyway. And it is a thing that we all do.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
so we all need it.
I agree.
Got you curious, huh?
Yes. So we're going to start with first. Today is August 6th, 2024. Our pre-orders for our August 2024 project of the month end on August 8th. That's the last day you can pre-order. They will be shipped on August 15th. And let's just say it's our anniversary box. It is ginormous. We have multiple surfaces, stencils, embellishments, a brand new tool that you're probably gonna want like 20 of. And
you can use them everywhere.
and it's really great.
Yeah.
And so we are excited about it. It's only $49.99. I can guarantee you it will be a lot more expensive than that when it's released to the public in 6 months.
When we release it, it will, I would say you might even be at like $129, $149.
I think if we add everything up, it's
going to be a lot.
going to be quite a bit.
Like we haven't added everything up yet, just because that's not our mindset in this. But we just wanted to give the best deal for you guys, and so it's a big deal. And it's our 1 year anniversary.
It's our
Ta-da!
anniversary.
Yeah, jazz hands.
Jazz hands. So let's also celebrate. Within the last week, we have hit 18,000 subscribers on our YouTube
18,000.
channel. So thank you very much. We appreciate you very much.
Yeah.
We are having a giveaway on our Facebook page and on YouTube. So check out, it's a pinned message on Facebook and it's in our community feed on YouTube. So check that out to see how you get entered to win, and it's a pretty big prize.
Yay.
And then we go live on Tuesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And then on Saturdays, we have lessons. So they're more succinct, they're less chatty. We cover how to paint a specific project or a technique or show off something that is trending. So right now we are in fall mode. It is August. I think everybody on my Facebook page is like, it's August, it's time to decorate for fall, it's here, even though it's 100 degrees here right now. So last week, we released the video, I show you how to paint a tone-on-tone background. So my husband is a race car driver, and so we are all about anything checker pattern, that checker flag, we love it. And so we have checker flag everything. So I wanted to incorporate that with a fall sign. So I did the tone-on-tone background. I show you how to do that, how to make decisions on how to paint it. And then we show you an accidental ombre, an on-purpose ombre, how to spatter. So there's a lot of fun things.
You spattered through the
I spattered
holes.
through the stencil.
You guys,
left
there's
the
so
stencil
many
on.
nuggets in these things. That Saturday videos, like the lives are great because we're answering your questions. You are the reason we're here. Like we are here to answer your questions. So like make sure you phone a friend, tell them to come join us, and they ask questions. And the questions are so good for everybody else in the community as well. So stencil fans from all over the world can learn from your question.
Yes,
and
agreed.
I love that.
Agreed.
But then Saturdays is that's technique.
Yes.
Well, I mean, really Tuesday is technique too.
Yeah.
We should call it technique Tuesday.
Technique Tuesday. And then this weekend, we have another fall project that Patty painted, and it's super
Super
cool.
fun. And there's a lot of nuggets in that one too, like a lot. I was surprised, like really surprised.
Yeah.
Probably 10 techniques.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
So
It's a
excited
lot.
about it. So let's talk about today. Today we are featuring our StudioR12 coasters. So we have done coasters in the past. We have several different coaster shapes. We have a rose shape, we have grape shape, we have a like fancy shape. We have rounds, and we've done videos on a lot of those, but I wanted to feature our squares in the newsletter, and we didn't have a video. So I said, we are going to do a video so we can feature these. And so today we are going to show you a bunch of different design ideas for the coasters. You can do them every day. You can do them seasonal. And we're going to give you tips on prep and finishing. And then I will put in the comments the sale that we have going on, the link, the coupon code when it expires, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, make sure you check out those links as we get going. So we're ready to... Okay, so coasters. These are the square coaster. So this is just in a perfect square. We've got them with slightly rounded corners. We've got them with a scalloped edge. But this is something that, like, I think if I was giving a number, 80% of Americans use in their homes. And so because of that, excuse me, because of that means that this would make a phenomenal gift. So you want to use that coupon code that is pinned, or
It will be.
Yeah, whatever Kari says, do that. Anyway, so you can do them in all the themes, and I think that's so blessedly important because you can make a boho set of coasters. Like, how cool to do this for your boho 20-year-old or whatever, or for yourself. I think actually my dad's wife would love the boho look as well in her house. So that would be phenomenal for somebody that was even, in her 70s. And then you can do, ugly sweater, so you can have a nice Christmas theme going. I'm going to show you how to prep them. This is the most important part. Prep them, paint them, and then finish them so that they're protected from the water. I have used these hand-painted coasters in my house for, golly, I bet 8 years is about what I'm going with. And they just, the dogs have chewed them. They've been, my grandkids do all kinds of shenanigans with them. Like they just get trashed. They've been outside in the garden because the dog took it out there. It's been found later. They've been found later, but one made it to the garden. So they're just super durable. They're hard. We have soaked these. We have done all kinds of things with these to make sure that they are as durable as possible. So this is just so cool. You can do a monogram, and so then you can make just that special set for somebody that has like an office. This is super, like, got a masculine feel to it. So you can make a gift for that granddad that is just, he's all about, Rawlinson, last name, right? That's like a gift that keeps on giving. He will think about you every single time he puts his cup down on that coaster, and he will know that you made that for him. Your dad, this gift can go everywhere. I always go to gift giving because I think that's what painting does, is it gives you this just wonderful ability to use your special crafting and artistry and all of that for somebody you love. So you're pouring love through you, into your hands, onto the thing, into a gift. And that's as deep as I can get today, and I think that's pretty darn deep. So I love it. All right, and then the speckled little granite ware cup with some tea towel stripes. Like, so all of these, what they all share is they all share the fact that they're on a coaster, but like they don't go together. So you can totally do, little sets of things that you have. And so when we get into the stencils, this is a stencil that I think everybody needs to have because it's just like the right bigness, that it works on a coaster. It could work for just, lettering. You can make words out of these things. It's got an arrow. It's got symbols, and it's got numbers. So it's an all-over stencil. We have a bunch of fonts in these on our website, so you can totally change up your font and do whatever you want. And we have sizes. And that is something that we do. If you go into Michael's, I'm going to pick on big box store right there. You go into a big box store, the sizes that you're going to get, the biggest thing you're usually going to see is 12 by 12. Like, that is the size that people, they order it from overseas, they bring it in. But we do these right here in America. Veteran-owned business, woman-owned business, local, like Ohio business. Everything's made here. So this is something that you can be proud to support. Anyway, so total getting on a bandstand right there. Anyway, so then we have boho stencils that you can use. I'm going to hold them up against my apron so you can see them. So all of these different emblems could be used. And then Kari's done, and then notice that she taped around. So this had a flower on the hand that is right here. And then she taped around that because that's too many little pockets to use the multi-masker for. That is when you would go ahead, just tape the thing and be done with it. And then the sweater stencil. So this is one of my favorites. This is fantastic. I love this. And then don't forget we have a jillian. I don't think it's actually a jillian, so I'm not lying. It's like it feels like a jillian. But anyway, so a jillian, a pretend jillian, million, billion, there we go. Total lies. Little mini stencils that are patterns of all kinds of things. And then we've got them in the bigger sizes too. So these are great things. We have made the hole in this already for you so that you can make it into a little flip book. And if you're ordering on StudioR12.com, most of the time you will get a little mini bookmark stencil that you can add to one of these and make it into a little flip chart, a flip fan for stencil fans.
So with those patterns, we put both the 4-inch and the 6-inch pattern sets in the collection for these. So the 4-inch is going to fit right on it. However, it might have a little bit of a band around it. So if you want a pattern across the entire coaster, then you'll want to use a 6-inch. Yeah. And so when I was doing that, I didn't really have a place to tape down. So I put the base or another coaster or something underneath of it and tape through that. However, you do want to think about if it's going to be a pattern and it's side by side and you don't tape off the edges, you might ghost onto the other coaster. So either flip it over or just think your way through it, because those were things that I ran into.
Yeah. So if you are painting this one with an all over pattern, so like this one, then you would tape onto these two. So you butt them together, maybe even put them on one of those bartender mats. Would be a good idea. We need to get some of that. I think we have it in the building. So it's that non-skid stuff that bartenders use, and then you can put it in your knife drawer, your utensil drawers, all of that to keep the crumbles going to the bottom, and it doesn't mess up your clean stuff. Anyway, so then, but what Kari's saying is you want to take maybe a piece of tape, maybe a piece of Mylar, and you would just tape the edge of this so that you don't mess up this coaster while painting this coaster, and then you can reuse that piece of tape. So that is a really good idea, actually. I don't like stencils when they bob over the edges. They bow a little bit, and so I always try to find, something that will help support them. All right, so those are all the variations of all the different things that we have. The tea towel stripe is literally one of our absolutely best sellers. Everybody loves this. You can band with it. You can stripe with it. You can tea towel with it. You can antique tea towel. You can add details. It's an amazing stencil, and we have it in a bunch of patterns. So you want to definitely check that out. I think the alphabet and the tea towel stripe are the things that you just kind of have to have, and then start building your collection of your patterns, because I can't tell you how many times this little chevron you would never want to paint that freehand ever in your life. So you would never want to paint, this is how these got invented. You would never want to do these little tiny stars ever in your life, or all these little lines, or this is the kind of thing, it's saving you tediousness. Here's diamonds. I've painted, actually, on lace ornaments, I've painted a harlequin diamond kind of pattern. It was a horrendous experience. Checks, bubbles, like, do you see the kind of thing? Music. These are the kind of things that if you wanted a little background oomph, that you would definitely just want to have it in a stencil format that was small enough so that you could repeat. So those are there because I care. I care about me. That's why they got invented, is because I was going to cry. All right, let's paint. So I have got stencils painted in, we're going to talk about prep first, but I've got stencils painted in gray, and then on our prep, what you're going to do, and I'm not going to show it because I think it's basic, you're going to use decor multi-purpose sealer. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to create a paint sandwich. So this product was made so that it will adhere to your surface. Okay, so it adheres to the surface. Then the paint is made, and this would be like decor paint is what it's made for, but this is fine. This works too. This adheres to this, and then we use a DuraClear matte varnish, which is a polyurethane that dries clear, and this creates a hug. It's just a whole paint sandwich. And so that is the order that you want to do, and then I've got one final that I'll show you at the end. So the first thing that you would do is you'd multi-purpose sealer, one of the most amazing sealers that you can get. This is an amazing, 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 I could say a lot more amazings, and it's just incredible. All right, so now we've got our surface sealed, and I painted gray. Okay, so that's where we're at. And then we're going to take a big old duster stippler. These are affordable, we don't say cheap, we say affordable, brushes, and they do such a great job of being just, I guess, loose. A sponge wouldn't do the same technique. So I'm making these into little snowman faces. How cute. They have different expressions. There's different hats. There's snowflakes. There's bow ties. There's all the expressions in the world. So it's like little emoji coasters. So you're going to take your duster stippler, and you're just really going to pounce it off. And then you're going to very lightly tap, 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 tap on your coaster. And then if I think that it's not snowy enough, which I kind of think that I do think that, tap, 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 really hard over here, really soft over here. Okay, and make sure you guys, if something blows your hippie noodle in this lesson, please make sure that you put it in the comments below, because then that lets other people know that, number one, it's valuable information, but that maybe they didn't think about that. Like, tell us why you think it blows your hippie noodle. So just super soft. Using pressure to control blending, making a snowy snowman, using pressure to control that is like one of the most basic skills that you can learn. So make sure you're learning it. Make sure you absorb that out of this. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly do the other two. I lost one. Okay, and then I'll just, nope, can't keep going. But how fun and how fast. Can you imagine the coworker that collects snowmen? Like, you know they're out there, right? That's a whole group of people. That's a whole body of people. And you bring in your coaster set, which you got because we have a great deal on them here on the website that Kari has posted. Can you imagine their face when they get these little happy face little snowmen? I mean, that's cool. Or your granddaughter who just loves snow, or like, think about all the people that just would enjoy something that's so sweet like that. And then we're gonna go into, I've got the bases glued. I'm gonna show you how to glue them in just a minute. And so now I've got, this is a Blue Jay stencil. And what's really cool about the Blue Jay stencil is it is in 3 pieces. I don't know about you, but I personally have no idea how to draw, paint, make up the correct markings of a bird. Like, it is not in my skill set. It is something I cannot do. And I'm not even intending to do it in the future. So like, it's not even like I can't be right now. I don't want to. So I've got this lovely stencil that's in 3 parts. I love that. So we're going to take this and we're going to center our bluebird, Blue Jay. Blue Jay and bluebird, definitely 2 different things. I'm going to tape my stencil down on the 2 corners. And we'll start here. We're going to get our dome stencil brush, and we are going to load dry paint into a dry brush onto a dry paper towel to offload, and then we're going to base the first layer of this white. We have so many of these multi-layer. We've got them for grapes, we've got them for roses, we've got them for pheasant, we've got them for like so many kinds of birds, chickens. We've got so many of these. So look for these because they are very, very handy. My grapes one is one of my favorite. I should have brought it in here, but the lesson is coasters today. So I'm going to let that dry. We'll see if we're dry over here. And we are. I'm going to stick my brush into a sandwich bag, just a full top sandwich bag. And I'm going to just like cinch it around so that I can pick this back up. I have to do another layer on my bird. And then let's go over here and let's talk about what we're going to do. What kind of face will we have? I like the little cheeky guy that's winking, so I'm going to do cheeky winky guy. And so we can go here. I'm going to turn him on an angle because I think I might can I make the top hat work?
I think you can do the ear warmers, but that's the only one
I think
that I can.
Yeah, that'll fit. Yeah. So I'll draw him down and maybe he gets a bow tie and he gets ear warmers. Because why wouldn't you?
So we do have the snowman face in several sizes.
Oh, nice.
So
nice.
the one that we're using is a 3-inch face. So if you did a 2-inch face, the
Then you
face
could
would be
fit the
smaller,
bits.
and then you could potentially. We
that
didn't
makes
try
sense.
that out, so I'm not
Yeah.
going to promise, but it would be smaller.
Yeah, and then you can use these on patterns around a box, on a gift bag. You could use them on any kind of flat surface that you just wanted to celebrate snowmen with. You know, super cute for all of just those collectors. Like I just can't even imagine. I actually don't know that I have a collector in my life right now, but I used to, and she was a manic collector. She was insane. That stuff. Okay, so we're gonna grab our black. I'm gonna get rid of the excess. We'll stipple because I want, oh, hey, that's my nose. All right, well, I'll wipe that off. The nose has gotta be the orange color. Give it one more coat of black so we get good coverage. Every now and again, you just barge in. I guess you could make it black. It wouldn't matter. I'm gonna go there. Gonna get another little guy and get some orange. Number 56. If you don't know about our color chart, it is designed. So these paints are Sherwin-Williams because, as you can imagine, a stencil company uses a mountain of paint. We have a paint and like cork and canvas on boards with Stencil's business. And so between both us doing this with the lives and all of this kind of stuff, we use so much paint. So we switched from DecoArt to Sherwin-Williams only for volume and affordability. So you can get our paint chip chart and it shows you the colors so you can match them to whatever paint you have. And then also you can get the DecoArt color that we've matched to it, the Sherwin-Williams color, or you can use the hex if you're doing some digital designing, digital scrapbooking, that kind of thing. So that hooks you up, and then you can visually also, I need a smaller brush, let's see. You can visually line it up and see like what matches. Okay, so now we go into our nose. This is gonna take a hot minute, so I think I'm actually gonna go white and cover with white. White is gonna cover better than orange, and then orange will be backlit by my white. See how that covered the little texture that I have going on there? I'm gonna do a couple little fun things with this little snow guy's face. So now we're gonna switch back to our bird, and we'll just kind of go back and forth. I don't wanna be shifting. Going along. All right, so now we go back into our white. I'm going to come right back to that nose so I'm not worried about the brush. And then we'll get our bird color, which is the white. So the white has to be the white because of the belly of the bird. There's a lot there. And so this is your white layer. This is going to be your blue and your teal or turquoise layer. And then this is going to be your black layer. So all of that is done for you. Dustin is one of our designers, and he started drawing all the birds of Ohio when he was 4 years old. And I wonder what he thought he wanted to be when he grew up. And his daughter is equally as talented. So But yeah, he hand drew these birds, authentic markings, all the things. So this is this is as legit as you get. All of our double layered things are done by him. Okay, so back into orange. He'll need one more coat. And I think our white needs one more coat. I'm probably going to bust out the blow dryer. All right, we got any questions?
Not right now.
Ask us some questions.
Well, we've had questions, but they're not any that are necessarily
okay, applicable.
Yes,
Yeah.
for this. More of sizing of stencils. So for those of you who are watching and want to know what size of stencils we use, whenever this is finished and on YouTube, on all of our YouTube videos that we have released fairly recently, I'm not going to say they're on all of them, but most of our YouTube videos, we release the specific stencils we use, the sizes, the paint colors, all of that. So when you are watching our video, there's a little description box, and if you hit more, it will expand and you will have a ton of links and a ton of information for collections, projects, sets, specific sizes, paint colors, all kinds of fun stuff.
Right now we get to have fun. Okay, I'm going to put him aside. We're going to go on here. So a couple things I want to do. I think this is just a really neat moment. So you've got your snowy texture and you've got your little snowman face. I'm going to go into number 14, and you're seeing me hit the bottle on the counter. So when you shake your bottle, a lot of times paint will blurb out at you, and that happens with the little 2-ounce bottles for from the craft store as well. So if you just hit it on the table, then the paint doesn't spit out. So it's just like a hippie noodle right there for a lot of people, because I didn't know that either.
Donna would like to know, why are you stippling instead of swirling on the snowman?
Because coverage. That is where you get into a lot of trouble. If you swirl, you'll end up with very light layers that dry really quickly. And then if you stipple, you'll end up with coverage, but it won't dry quick. So you kind of got to, choose your battles right there. So I'm going to go into 14. I'm going to use another brush. And then just over in our edges, I'm going to change his whole demeanor, right? So this is going to make him, I don't know why it's a him. I guess he's getting a bow tie. Maybe that's why. I'm going to make him snowier and funner by just bringing some blue into the corners. So it's just a dry rub. It's the same swirl move that we use for the swirling. I'll reload, re-offload. And so you're getting some really cool techniques here. So you're getting this stipple, then you're getting this layer on top, and then you're learning to deepen it. Doesn't that just make it more magical right there? I just think that's just super fun. And we're going to do a couple more things to these guys. And so you could make each one of these coasters into a totally different set. Like, how fun is that? Like, not different set, but a different expression.
And I want to expand on the stippling versus swirling that Donna had asked about. When you are painting small projects, you might be using a lot of different colors, a lot of different brushes, and the dry time might take a while. So if you are, like I did the rainbow, and there were like 7 different colors in that. So I stippled 2 layers each. If I would have swirled that, I probably would have had to do 4 or 5 layers of each. And then it makes a little project take a lot of time, especially when you're going from color to color to color. And then I also like stippling just on things that have small details. The coverage happens faster, and when you're switching colors, if you swirl and you go back into it, you're going to have to remember what color you used.
There's a lot of colors on here.
It is a lot of colors. So then I did all of one color, move the tape. All of one color, move the tape. If you're swirling and you're doing one at a time, it's going to be harder to get it all done.
Yeah, this kind of thing. Now, when she says it takes a lot of time, Kari got started at 10:30, and finished all of the samples that you saw in an hour and a half, hour and 20 minutes. Yeah, so that's a lot of creativity going on there, a lot of background, base coating, all of that kind of stuff. So when you say a long time, it's just a long time compared to like one kind of stencil, like
right.
A simple
well, and if
project.
you're doing as a set is not going to maybe take as long as
it's a bunch of
doing
different,
all of the different ones and
Yeah.
pulling all of the colors and mixing and matching the
Yeah.
stencils.
If I had this on my paint jar, which I do, I would take a moment and go ahead and get that off of there because it affects the, and watch when you rub on your apron, because the day that you don't wear an apron, you're going to rub on your clothes and you're going to be mad at yourself. I actually did that too. I was married for 2 months, a long time ago, to somebody else, and the day of my wedding, I had the big poofy wedding dress, and I put my lip gloss on, and then I always would do this on my jeans, and I did that on my wedding dress. So motor skills, muscle memory, right? Just be careful. I just did that, and I was like, I should have used the paper towel, just not to train myself to do stupid things. All right, so then we go into this number 67, which is this melon color. And we're going to blush his little cheekies.
And I'm going to make a recommendation as Patty's doing this. Do not put out a bunch of paint on your palette when you are painting coasters. You do not
tiny bit.
use a bunch of paint on small projects.
Like
and you
this
don't
amount,
want to waste your paint. Paint is gold.
So look at how cute and how different that looks by just giving him some blush and like just having that little bit of expression on there. Like it just totally a couple of techniques. It's all it takes to make it be magic. So then, gosh, I don't even know if he needs more stuff. Okay, but we're going to do it anyway. So we'll get that out of his cheeks. And what color are his earmuffs? I think we need black. Should have saved my black. Maybe we'll just make his earmuffs black. You can make them any color you want, because you're in charge. So stipple, because I'll be done in one quick layer. Also, see that line is thin that's over there, and I didn't quite get that all the way on the coaster. I think it'll be fine. But thin areas like to be stippled. So I always switch to a stipple when I'm trying to get good coverage on thin. Okay, and then pull that back. Oh, look how cute he is. Okay, so then what you could do is you could bring in, off the same set of coasters, I should have saved my white as well. So think about your brushes, keep a baggie out so that you can pay attention to, like, I'm going to use that brush again. And so we can give some little snowflakes around him. How fun is that? Aw, he's so cute. All right, so imagine now you have your coaster base, and can you imagine the cuteness that is going to be everybody, having these little coasters in their house that you've made for them out of love in your heart, and that they can change out for the holidays seasonally. You can do a big fall leaf on these. You could do birds on these. Like, we have 7,500 titles of stencils on our website in sizes. And so that means we have 35,000 stencils to choose from as far as like size and scope and all of that. And we have them in all the themes. So StudioR12.com, if you're new to us, you want to go check it out. Also, I like the idea of painting your base black. And while we're talking about bases, I'll show you how to glue it together. But and varnish it and finish it and do all that kind of stuff. But then if you give a set of coasters that's this, or this, or this, the black works with all of it. So then you can have basic black as your base, and then people can swap them out, and all you have to do is send the cute little replacements for them to change up the season. I made teddy bear welcome signs for my daughter-in-law. And she's a bear, like, so that's the other thing. But I don't think we have any bears with clothes and stuff like that. But we do have some kinds of bears. But teddy bear collectors are also a thing, like snowman collectors. Anyway, she was just all into it. And so then I gave her the welcome and I gave her the bear. And then there were clothes that she could change into. So then for the next gift, for the next birthday or the next Christmas, all I had to do was make the outfit. And then she was thrilled to have this new set of clothes, like those people with the geese on their front porch, that kind of thing.
Oh, it's like my glasses right now.
Yeah.
You guys, I got new glasses.
You guys, these glasses
they're
are
on
cool.
my desk, but they're magnetic. So I have clear frames, but then I have different tops that I can put on them and change the color to match my outfit or my sunglasses. And
So for the first time in her life, she has prescription
sunglasses, so I don't have to wear 2 layers of glasses.
Next week, let's bring them on and show people.
Yeah, that's fine. Or if Steve wants to go grab them from my desk, he can.
Okay, so we're going to use the Aleene's Quick Dry Tacky Glue. It sits on its nose, which is brilliant because other glues, they go back to the end and then that gets hardened in there, and this doesn't do that. So sometimes I have a hard time getting the lid off. It just pops off though. And just a nice thin bead goes around.
Thank you.
And then you're going to place it back on its nose and push that in, and then you'll center this on your project, on your surface. And that is what we use for all of our wood. We've got those 3D like layered wood signs, and you just push that down, it dries clear, so then you leave that alone for 10 minutes and it'll be dry. Excuse me. All right, show your glasses.
All right,
all right.
look how cool these are.
This is fun.
So my frames are clear, and I got them clear on purpose. They are prescription. And then I got these little attachments.
That's so fun.
And it just pops right on with a magnet. And now I have a completely different look. And then I also have a sunglasses pair. And they just pop right on. And now I have sunglasses. And it's super fun. Super cool. But my husband said he liked the clear, so I wore clear too.
I like the clear. I like it. So the dark really sets off your coloring, but the clear really looks lovely. So I think I'm 6 1/2 dozen or the other. Okay, so now we're going to go into our bird. Bird. And then we layer this over it. Get your glasses on. And get that centered. And now we're going to take the hole, because I have a hole right there. And so that helps me keep it all together. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go into, I had 35 pulled out, but I feel like those colors are so similar that I'm going to just 14 it. And on this one, I will swirl, because see how that color just really takes over. How nice not to have to worry about where to stroke or where to lay a stroke on the bird. And now I can shade just a little bit. I can go shady shade. So I'm just enhancing the color. And then I can wipe out my brush and go to number 6. And I mean, I could use 1/20th of the amount of paint that I just put out. So don't do what I did. I'm going to get a new brush. I'm going to need it. I want the color to pop. So I'm going to switch to my flat dome. And then, dry. You can get some little bit of this turquoisey teal. I'm going to stipple for coverage because I'm not getting it tealy enough. Peek at him. How do we like that? Okay, I think that gives us the hint that we need. And then we go into the next brush. Wipe off our little hairs. If you get little hairs, wait till you're dry and then just brush them off from the brush, hairs from the brush. Okay, so now jockey this thing around. I'm not always good about lining things up on the camera, so I apologize if I jack it up. Oop. Okay. Nope, I slid it. So his feet are on here and his feet are black, but the whole thing is black, so there we go. All right, then we take our black and then we stipple. Because small holes.
So when you get these layered stencils, whether it be a top porch stencil or that, it's going to look funky until you paint it. So on these, I'm going to say trust the process and trust that we have designed them, we have painted them, we know how the layers look. So you might feel like it's going to be weird, but then once you peel it off when you're done, you're like, oh, that makes sense now. Like, look how detailed that is.
Like, look how absolutely freaking cool that is. Like, it's amazing. So I'm going to go back in, layer that back over the top. Hopefully I can get it lined up. And I'm just going to add a little bit of white and make his foot a little gray thing and make his beak a little gray thing because black background. There we go. And now you can see it. So, like, how cool is that? So now you've got your coaster that you do for your bird lover. We call our front window on our house, we call it Bird TV, because we can look outside when we're sitting and enjoying just chill time, and we can watch the birds. We've got a bird feeder, and there's just a million of them. Ohio is just like wildlife, amazing. And so we call it Bird TV. My husband loves watching the birds, so he would be a perfect recipient for something like this. It's just a nice little, grandpa, dad, brother, husband, whoever, I know, coworker, I know that you love birds, so here's some coasters to celebrate that and do the thing. Now you can add some greenery. This has greenery option down at the bottom, so it's not so lonely. But I think that sometimes just that stark wonderfulness is lovely to have. Now let's talk about finishing. Okay, so we're going to go into our Duraclear matte varnish. I say matte, it doesn't have to be matte. You can use gloss, you can use satin, you can use whatever you want to use. And I've got schmutz on here. I'm not sure what happened to get schmutz. If you get schmutz and you varnish over the schmutz, I'm just going to say that 5 times more, then you are going to be sad when you varnish because it's there forever. So I'm going to take my little sanding and I'm going to get rid of said schmutz. And then we're going to tap a little black with the little flat brush and just base that away. Just had a couple pieces that just got on there. When you're using these Taklon brushes that are the nylon, make sure you rinse them out and then take them out of the water. The bristle brushes do fantastic in sitting in the water for a week, but you will not want to do that with your Taklon brushes. That is a bad idea. Let's see. And then I can take my, just a large...
Sorry, they always come in twos.
It's true.
It is true.
Large flat brush. You could use any kind of brush, and you're going to put your varnish on. And you want to move quickly because you don't want it to pull. You could use a sponge. You could use whatever you want. So now we have the layers. So we have our all-purpose sealer. We have our paint. Then we have our Duraclear matte varnish. And you're going to do 2 or 3 coats of the Duraclear. Get that. And I've got one more step for you. We have a how to clean your brushes video, so you can totally go watch that video and I show you how to clean your brushes. And these kinds of brushes are the ones that they're money and you want to baby them, because once you get them split and they don't work as well, you're going to be sad. So you want to know how to do that. I'm going to dry this with a blow dryer. Okay, is he dry? He is. He's also got a little bit of texture on that, and so I have a secret weapon for texture. This is a Kroger grocery bag, or anybody's grocery bag. I'm going to switch to a clean side, and then I can totally wipe him down just a little bit, and then the next step is going to take any of that little grubbiness away. And we're going to then take our Clapham's beeswax, which is a wax product, clean paper towel, wipe him back, and then just pick up just a teeny bit of it, don't need a lot, and then you're just going to wipe that over him. And so we've made our paint sandwich, and then we've given a liquid repelling finish, and then you have a perfectly finished coaster, and that is how you make coasters.
Yay, and the Clapham's wax, we just got it back in stock. So
Huzzah.
It is in stock. We just received an order. Cindy asked, my matte varnish always smears even when I let the paint dry overnight. Help.
What is the paint that you are using, Cindy?
Okay.
I believe you're going to say chalk.
Okay.
That's what I believe. Only because that is the question we have received a million times, is that the chalk paints can tend to smear. And what I would say, okay, I've got to answer for this. If and it were me, I would test. So, take a little piece of lumber, a little piece of wood that you've got, put the colors that smear for you, and then give it a spritz of this matte Krylon 1311 matte varnish, and spritz that on there, and then go in with your other finish. This was a good finish too. It's very matte though. Sometimes you want just a little bit more of whatever this brings to the table. So, but I would do this and barrier coat it. You do the same thing. If you sign your work with a Sharpie and you're like, to Grandma with love on the back of the thing, and then you brush on a varnish, you're going to smear all of that, because the alcohol or whatever's in this takes this away. So you can give it a little spritz, that'll seal it in, and then you can seal everything as you go. And I do recommend sealing and finishing both sides of your coasters. And by the way, I think little snowman would be so cute with just a little drizzle of like white frosting or something on there. I think that'd be cute. Although be careful of texture with coasters, because the glassware has to sit on there nice and even, so. All right, I think.
We have had a couple questions about the layered stencils. People asking if it comes numbered with the order. So some of our layered stencils come on one sheet like this one, and you are going to paint it left to right how you would read. If there are 2 layers, you would do top layer and then bottom. And then other ones come in individual stencils, and they are labeled part 1 of 6, part 2 of 6.
5,
Yep. So there are, and if you have questions after you order them, you can most certainly send us a message, and we can further discuss.
Yeah, and for this little bird guy today, little bird brain over here, for this guy, I totally do not know what a blue jay, like, I've not studied birds. Like, this is not my field of expertise. And so today I was like, I wonder what order I should do. And Kari brought up the product, and it was like, it showed the layers, and it was like, oh.
Yeah.
And go to my website and look at the rules.
June asked, how often do you reapply the wax?
That is an interesting question. I have never reapplied wax or varnish on my coasters ever. I just haven't needed to. But it's not something that you're scuffing, unless my dog takes it and runs outside with it, But so.
If you wanted to, you could probably do every year or 2.
Yeah, just refresh it
as you have it. When you think about it.
Yeah. If you have so the neat thing about the Clapham's wax. So let's go Grandma right now, and Mom and Dad. That works too. If you have small kids in your care, You can, if you hand painted a high chair, if you hand painted some toys, if you made some puzzles that you knew kids were going to eat, touch, put food on, this is food safe. So you can take your varnish, you can get everything varnished and cleaned up and all that kind of stuff, put a couple of coats of claphams on there, and now you have a food safe surface for everything to land on, for them to chew on, all of that. This is salad bowl wax. So you can put this on your cutting board, you can put it on your salad bowl, you can put it on all that stuff. Magic stuff. This is legit. It's a Canadian product. Comes from a company that deeply cares about the beeswax and all of that kind of stuff. So it is a legit product.
Yep. All right.
I think we did it.
We did it.
You guys make sure you check out the sale that is in the comments. I'm
And it's
not good
also
at
in the
this,
newsletter.
but yeah.
I know this part. Patty gives me anxiety every time she starts talking about this. We talk about before, what are we going to say, and then toward the end, she just starts word vomiting. So it's in your newsletter and it's in the comments.
There you go. So check it out, and then thank you guys for joining us today. Tuesdays are our live days. Saturday is our technique days. So we will see you then.